Hi, everybody. Good Tuesday, and thank you for being a part of the program. I don't say this lightly, and we've had some close ones here, certainly as of the last few months, but tonight might be as close as I have cut it time-wise in an effort to get a program on. It's been a full day of gathering the news, trying to get it edited and on TV. So we will go directly to headlines in hopes that I will be able to get it all squeezed into the program before my time is up. With that said, we'll go ahead and begin with a special story earlier today that actually led into another. Yeah, I got to tag along today, and I actually caught up with them at the last of 3 elementary schools that they were stopping by today, they being representatives of the federal penitentiary, Big Sandy, of course, in Martin County. When they told me that they were bringing a bunch of gifts for a bunch of very deserving little boys and girls, no offense, but in my mind, I pictured maybe some big, burly, tough-looking guys. But 3 lovely ladies, all employees of the Big Sandy Federal Penitentiary, showed up in a pickup truck full of gifts and presents that the entire staff had chipped in to buy for some very, once again, deserving kids. And their public information officer tells me this is something that they have been doing basically since the prison was built some time ago. It's all part of the Angel Tree program that's been reaching out to the area for about 14 to 15 years, for about as long as the prison has been here. And today they made their way through Magoffin County and Sayersville Grade School, North Magoffin Elementary, and South Magoffin Elementary as well. And today, they made their rounds to Magoffin's 3 elementary schools, where Family Resource Youth Service Center directors Alice Hilton at Sayersville Grade School, Carrie Carty at North Magoffin Elementary, and Johnny K. Reisner at South Magoffin Elementary each helped hand-select some very good little boys and girls at the very top of the nice list to make sure that they could have an extra Merry Christmas.
We have a prison over in Martin County, and they picked out 15 kids from our school, and you was fortunate enough to be the 15 picked out, that they wanted to make a really special Christmas in your life and touch your hearts a little bit and show their love and feelings for students in our area. So they all come out and they want to bring you some gifts today.
The Angel Tree program is an annually sponsored program by the staff at the Federal Penitentiary Big Sandy. And we pick a community, a county, every year and sponsor the elementary schools. And there are children who we would like to ensure that they have a very special, happy holiday season and have something open under the tree, or as you can see right now. I tell you, watching the kids open their gifts has been just emotionally very touching, I think, not only for myself, but others of us who are involved and have facilitated part of this program. And it's about giving and just watching the joy in the kids' faces.
So a huge thank you to Tracy and all of her co-workers at the Federal Penitentiary Big Sandy for the wonderful afternoon, and most importantly, all of the smiles they're responsible for, all of which Johnny Cash agrees with.
You do a good job? You do a good job?
He gets him a big sausage and biscuit every morning.
I don't get a sausage and biscuit.
Now, in kind of continuing on with the theme of that report, I also wanted to take a few moments today to mention some of the other folks who were also responsible for today's early Christmas for a lot of local kids, as you saw. And they're also the folks that we want to wish a huge thank you for their year-round support, not just today, but of so many kids as well in the Magoffin County school system. I think many of us may be unaware of all the needs that may go unmet if it were not for our Family Resource Youth Service Centers and the directors of each. We've got one at each of one at each of our schools, and today the 3 elementary schools were represented, even though I only got to get to one school. And as my luck would have it, bad luck for me, I'm assuming that she's thinking good luck, as Johnny K. Reisner, the Family Resource Youth Service Center Director, had to be out on assignment, I think, out of town. So we didn't get to talk to her directly, and I'm sure her heart is just broken because I know her all too well, and I can say that safely. But we wanted to make mention of these folks because they had a big part in today's Christmas event. And year-round, these ladies and those at the middle school and the high school as well find a way, whatever it takes, to get the help, the support, whatever it is that a child may need. And then, of course, there are businesses and individuals who so graciously give to our resource centers to see that every child has something, whether it's as simple as shoes or a bed or a Christmas dinner for their family. Now, all of those things, mind you, were on the Christmas list of some local elementary school students this year. There are churches, there are businesses and churches who sponsor maybe 10, maybe 50 kids for the holidays, maybe year-round. There are individuals who will stop in our local schools and ask for a name or 2 or 3 so that they too can sponsor them maybe at the beginning of school or during the holidays. And with our Family Resource Youth Service Center directors, they continue to coordinate and change some lives in ways that we can all take a moment and learn from. Principal Mark Rice described it very well in this interview, so well that in fact there's no edit to be done, but simply some very sincere words and some sincere thanks.
The Family Resource Center plays a very important role in helping meet a lot of needs of students in our community who lack, certain needs or special needs in order to help to be successful in school. And, a lot of those kids are very deprived. Parents do the best they can do, but sometimes they need somebody to call on or depend on a little bit to get some guidance or direction. And the Resource Center does so much for our kids that people don't even realize. We have Children Incorporated, which has sponsors for people outside of Kentucky that may live in New York or whatever that chooses to pick somebody here, and they send little things 3 and 4 times a year to students, and makes that child feel very successful, makes them feel proud, makes them feel like important. And one good thing about it is it builds confidence and trust to that student and other people. The resource centers don't have a whole lot of money like they used to, so now they're depending more upon organizations and places to help them. This year we've been really lucky. Used to we had the Del Barton bunch that came in here every year that really made every child's Christmas in McGoffin County. And probably, the last 4 years they've not been here, and they've sort of drifted along. And our community has really done a good job, Ritt, picking up, I think, to fulfill some of what the Del Barton Bunch gave here a long time ago. We have so many organizations like the Masons Lodge down here, many churches donates every year. We have individuals who just normally picks 1 or 2 kids out every year to just to help out. I have the PR school over here that's helped our kids this year. We have the Big Sandy Federal Prison. Foothills Telephone Company has always been really successful helping our students and stuff. And it seems like our resource center sort of organizes all that, and they try to see that every kid receive something, and not just one child or two children receive several things. She tries to see that sort of evenly out across the board, and that's a hard job when you're looking at 150 and 300 or 400 kids in some of these schools, and trying to make sure that you make every kid feel important and every kid to get something special at Christmas. And without our family resource centers in McGoffin County, we'd have a hard time, and our kids be missing out on a lot of needs that they really have. And probably some of our kids, that's the only Christmas they have. I know one kid we had here was just more or less interested in having a Christmas dinner. Didn't care about himself, wanted one for his family, and I know that's been reached and provided for his family, and that's something very important. But without the resource center and having that special contact person in the center of everything going on, we couldn't do what we have to do.
To get high-speed internet on their state-of-the-art fiber optic network for all of your home and business solutions, or to watch TV without a contract on over 200 digital channels with superb quality, or stay connected with family and friends with 24/7 telephone service you can always depend on, contact Foothills Broadband today. Or just click on their link to the right to find out how they're working to provide the latest in communications at affordable prices with exceptional service at Foothills Broadband. Going on to other headlines, this was a two-car crash, a head-on collision, mind you, on 460 West out of Saggers. Well, this in the cut-through or near the cut-through area where they took out the backbone curve on Route 460. Now, reports are that I have from law enforcement and volunteers on scene where that a small pickup truck was pulled over, well, facing the direction opposite you, the same direction the back of that pickup truck is facing, but it pulled over across the oncoming traffic and was on the westbound shoulder. The driver stated to authorities that he was looking for a lost dog, when another vehicle was coming from the direction the headlights are facing you, of course, from the direction that you see there, and it was this vehicle in question. And when the female driver came up on the truck, it was basically on the shoulder of her lane of travel. The two collided in a near head-on fashion. We're unsure if the truck was all the way off the shoulder, pulling back on, or what have you. We don't have those specific details, only the video that shows, of course, an obvious near head-on crash. There were two occupants in the small pickup truck, the male driver, a female passenger. The driver refused medical treatment on scene. The female driver was taken to an area hospital by ambulance for what appeared to be non-life-threatening injuries. The driver of the other vehicle, which we did confirm also had her seatbelt on, however, was taken first by ambulance to an area hospital and then transferred from the Paul B. Hall Medical Center, we believe with possible spinal fractures and internal injuries. No other update on the conditions of either of the individuals or the exact cause of the crash, but it is under investigation, mind you, by the McGoffin County Sheriff's Department, and I believe Deputy Brian Tipton. Now for coverage of today's special session of the McGoffin County Fiscal Court, a special meeting out in the field, literally, as you can see, as they held the meeting underneath the shelter at the McGoffin County Civil War Reenactment Park, the new shelter, and of course a walking trail surrounding it, recently finished, the first phase of the project done. It was during this special meeting that they discussed, as you can imagine, their reason for being here and the amenities that are now established in this portion of the county. There was also some other items, some general fund transfers, the annual $5,000 in support to the McGoffin County Rescue Squad. The main topic was the Rumpke contract, their garbage collection contract with the company, proposing recently an increase of about $2.10 for senior citizen customers and about $1 or so increase for other residential customers.
I did receive a additional proposal, which I reviewed with Magistrate Matthew Warman. He's been good enough to sit on the committee with us, and basically one of the options is a one-year contract so that we can look at some other options. That contract would essentially take into the fact that we have lost about 1,000, is that right? Was it 700 something?
It was
737 or something customers. There are about 300 of those that are people that just dropped off paying. And the others have moved away or no longer with us. Their proposal would essentially go up 55 cents, is that correct, on everybody, and $1 on the senior citizens?
Yes, that's correct.
And the franchise fee would be dropped. That's what they pay the county back to run the program, from 8 to 7%. That would be a one-year contract. We would then look at what I believe the KR has said, but I gotta admit, that's the first time I've looked at it, saying that we could attach the delinquent bills, garbage bills, to the property tax. That would be the proposal. The other one is a 3-month, 90-day, but it was higher than this one on the proposal. So I'm going to make a motion that we accept the one. Looks like some of my political opponents lost. I'd like to make a motion that we do the one-year contract and that we look into the legality of placing delinquent bills on the tax, on the property tax, and if that is legal, that we would go ahead and do that, not have to re-vote on it. And that's the form of a motion. Is there a second? Motion's been made and second. Floor is open for discussion.
Could we amend the motion to also include that by July that we are looking at the next year's contract so that we're not
Absolutely.
back up against the wall here?
I'll accept that motion along with the statement that I would request that you continue to serve on that committee. I think you're doing a good job. I'll accept that amendment, so we don't need to vote on that. I've accepted the amendment. Any further amendments or questions? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, nay. Motion carries. I would like to compliment the entire board that has set on working on this problem, but I would especially like to compliment the magistrate. Anytime that a public official be willing to deal with this issue when they could have gone to the background and didn't, I thank you for stepping up to the plate.
And lastly, Judge Harden commented on their reasoning for being at this location for this special meeting, and that, of course, being obviously the Civil War Reenactment Park, which from this angle you can see has a new walking trail and a new shelter completed.
The reason we're up here today, if you look around, is this wonderful area that we have in our Civil War Park. As you can see, this is a really nice shelter. And we also have a blacktop walking track. I believe you said around 2,500 feet, Mike? Exactly. Yeah. It's for the people to be able to walk around to get exercise. In the next phase, we'll be putting in restrooms and what was the other? The parking lot. So we are trying to have a nice park up partway up the river. We probably need something else further up the river. We have a park down in the lower end. What we're trying to do are to get the kind of facilities that don't require constant personnel, constant expense, but provide a good service for the people. And I am very, very pleased. This is even nicer than I thought it looked on paper. And I'd like to thank the Civil War Committee and Mike, and we could not do any of this stuff without the Big Sandy Ad District. So I invite everyone to come up, particularly when they do a reenactment, and the people on this area of the county. This will be an excellent area for the exercise, health. It's next door to South McGoffin. It's obviously available to them at any time. And I'm sure, Matthew, you don't care if anybody from north of McGoffin County comes up and has a look and walks around too, do you?
I'll bet.
Before we close out the report, I just wanted to go back and kind of rehash the Rumpke rates. There was a proposal from the Rumpke company. Their contract has not been rebid since 2012. I think there was an amendment to the contract at some point a couple of years ago that gave them a slight increase. But nevertheless, they came to the fiscal court with a proposal of an increase in rates, $2.10 up to $12.60 for senior citizens, and from $18.34 to $19.26 for their residential customers. The proposal that Judge Harden said that they had come back with was to increase senior citizens collection rates $1 and then residential customers up 55 cents. And that is the rates that we'll all be paying, as that has been the rate set for a one-year period. However, as you also heard Magistrate Wireman indicate that they will be revisiting this issue sometime in mid-year around July. It's expected that they may even look at rebidding this contract near or before its expiration. But for the next year, those are the rate increases for McGoffin County garbage collection customers. Now, I know I'm cutting the show short because there was just simply a lack of time, not enough time to get all the news covered and edited and on, but I can't forget birthdays, especially a happy 5th birthday to Riley Grace Howard, with lots of love from Sissy Bridget, Mama and Papa, and a list of family and friends, Riley Grace, that I just don't have time to go over. Happy 5th birthday to Riley Grace Howard. And I'm not done. Another special birthday wish tonight going out to now 48-year-old Thelma Fuller, with a lot of love from Mom, son Gregory, Boozer, family, and friends. The happiest of birthdays. Happy 48th birthday, Thelma Fuller. And since it's tomorrow, we need to make notice of the regular session meeting of North Magoffin Elementary Site-Based Council. Indeed, set for tomorrow. This meeting will begin at 4:30 in the school's conference room. This comes from Principal James Keith Isaac in hopes that everyone will attend. And one last reminder that tomorrow's the day for distribution at the Water Into Wine Food Pantry. That's right, 8:30 till 3 with a break in the middle starting at 11:30. If you're picking up items for someone else, bring the pantry card. You need something signed by them, their phone number, and some other information. That's Water Into Wine, serving tomorrow beginning at 8:30. And in funeral service listings, we have an announcement. We've just learned of the passing of Ann Williams, who passed away at the age of 80 from Bee Tree Road. She passed away on today's date. We also understand that arrangements are incomplete at this hour, but to be announced soon by the Magoffin County Funeral Home.